Doodle bud. So today we're gonna grind a nib. I thought I would just do a video of how I do it. I don't know how bad this video is gonna turn out. This donor pen, just this Jinhao I've had for a while. I don't really write with it anymore. So I thought, well, I don't do anything with it. Let's do a video. Disclaimer, don't do this. It's a terrible idea, but this is what I do. This is how I did my 149. I did some other pens first, obviously. It's got just a little touch of italic on it. I find italic actually, well, I guess cursive italic is my favorite nib. And let's see what we can do with this one. So I'll just do a real quick writing sample. It's a Jinhao, and this will go just right before. And just a real quick and dirty sample, so we can just have a quick comparison, because we'll do a before and after. So I'm not trying to have nice writing here, just something to have as a comparison. Okay, spelling errors and everything. So you can see, just your standard nib, nothing amazing about that. Let's see if we can change it. So the tools I'm going to use, I sharpen knives and straight razors around the house here too. So, you know, I do have a little bit of a mini setup, but if you're going to do this, if you want it done properly, send it to a nib grinder. So a professional will cringe watching what I do to a pen, but let's have some fun. So I got some stones over here. We're just going to start off. On this one, it's a 1,400 grit, and then I move up, we got a 4,000, then 8,000, and then I got some strops. These are handy, they're just magnetic, and they stick onto my flat plate or each other. I make those too. And then nail buffer from the dollar store. You can see this is a real high-end operation I got here. We will see how this goes. This might just turn out horribly doing this around a camera. I'm gonna try to give you a view. My back is gonna be sore afterwards, but whatever. And I got a little loop. Let me do it right now. We'll try to look at the nibs here so you can see what it looks like before and after. Let me try to hold it steady. That's a little better. Oh, it's trying to focus in the wrong spot. Let's see if we can get a little better job. There we are. So we're just gonna, the only thing that you can do with the nib with this type of setup, if you don't have rotary and all that stuff, like you're not doing an architect nib or a needle point or Spencerian or nothing ridiculous like that, is you essentially stub it. Or I guess more like an italic, cursive italic. So that was enough of that. Let's get going. All right, so when you do it, not that you're supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do this, but if you do it, you want to have, I'm trying to get this on camera, I'll start higher, this parallel. So the top parallel to the stone, and same when you do the bottom, you can use the section as a reference and all that as well. So that's the only thing I'm going to keep an eye on. I want to try to not cut the video, so it's just essentially a raw video of me doing this, but I might have to do some editing to get this. We'll see how it goes. I might have to do a pause, but I'll let you know. One thing, when you got a two-tone nib, normally if I really cared about this pen, I would tape it, because then depending where your plating is, you'll have a silver bit and then back onto the gold bit, and it's not going to be even either. So again, I'm just going to do a quick and dirty. They're going to get slaughtered. Let's do it. Let's keep going, man. Let me get it up there. There we go. I'm trying to look at the camera, look at the pen, and do this all at the same time. I think this is going to be terrible, but I'm trying not to be too loud because the kids just went to bed. Let's see how we're looking so far. This way. See, so we're just gonna get rid of the tipping on the bottom. We're gonna do all the way around, make it reasonably square. Oh, come on, focus. Okay, so it's starting to go. That's the 400. We're gonna go up and polish it, make it look a little prettier. If you stick around. I'm trying to give you the view I do. Okay. That's where you're really going to notice if it's a two-tone, is that. And I keep flipping off the stone because I'm holding this at a terrible angle for me so I can get it on camera. Oh gosh, this is going to be bad. All right, let's wipe that a little bit. Okay, let's see what type of damage we've done so far. Just so you can compare as we go. Okay, got some more work to do. Okay. So it's just the one thing when you do it by hand, I'm holding it in such a terrible position for the camera's sake, but as you go slow, you can't do much damage. The one thing, if you do use a Dremel yourself, those suckers, even on the lowest speed, spin so fast. I should have took the ink out of this pen. Oh, I'm trying to focus on the video. I'm just not thinking. But the rotary ones go so quick. You move material so fast. You can damage it really quick when you don't know what you're doing. Like in my case. So that's the one advantage with stones. It's nice and slow. It just takes a little longer. And your thumb is a good feeler to know how much more material we got. Oh, let me get you back on there. Ugh. Trying to manage all this. There we go. Just like sharpening a knife, once you get it set on the coarser grit, after that you're just smoothing it out. As long as you keep the geometry the same. So same thing on here. Let's see. Where's my lens? There's my, geez Louise. Here we go. So, for the sake of time, I'm just going to finish that bottom a little bit better, but I would get it really nice and square and even on both sides and all that kind of good stuff, but I just want to get this on video for the sake of having some fun. So this isn't going to be my best work because I don't think I can make this my best work anyways. Okay. I gotta square it in the front. Oh, and you gotta see this somehow. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I'm going on end and I'm trying my best to get the pen perpendicular. This is where a professional starts to vomit in their mouth a little bit. So you got to get it straight up and down. You don't want to tilt it either, because then you'll create like a knife edge. And I'm trying to do this and get it on camera give you a good angle at the same time. Let's see how terrible that is. I'm having fun, man. This is crazy. This is a tough video to do. Okay, where are we? So we got basic shape going on. This is cringeworthy. Okay. Just gonna square it just a little bit more. Okay. And then we'll go to the 1,000 and see how we do. Okay. Whew. Gotta get my back a rest here. Oh man, I'm gonna be sore after this one. Just everything is a bad, awkward height for me. I keep complaining here, but let me just keep going. So now we can go a little faster. You flip it. How are we doing for time? Ooh, 11 minutes already. I don't want to make this too long. Chalkboard, if fingernails on a chalkboard make goosebumps stick up on you, this will too. Okay, let's give that a look. I'm looking at this the same time you guys are, so I'm not even actually sneaking a peek first myself and then going to you. So we're getting there. Okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna go straight to my 8,000 just for the sake of time. I think it'll be all right. Where's an angle again? Okay, I think that looks sort of okay. Let me just, I think the camera might have been out of focus this whole video. That's not good. There we go. And you can feel a lot when you're doing this, just like if you do a razor or a knife. You can really feel what's going on. But again, don't do this. So I'm just going to round this a little bit. Because having just a straight italic is not overly functional, at least for me. Just too sharp of an edge for me. Okay. Let's give it a quick look. I'm trying to get that focus, but the sweet spot somewhere, that looks okay. Just a little bit more. Yeah, I gotta put it way out here more. I gotta put it in the right spot for you, but also a good spot for me. So it's super light pressure. Just trying to get the very edges off. So this is where the nail buffer comes in. So I'm going to probably start on, number 4. Just to get rid of those sharp corners. Go. We'll just progress up. Let's see how it's looking so far. That's not too bad for rushing this one and not actually looking at it myself, just always through the camera. I could have probably flossed that a little bit. I didn't grab the things I use for that ahead of time, so we'll just make the most of it I can right here. So again, this isn't my best work, but just wanted to show you that this is something you want to mess around with. And I remember I said don't do it, but this is how you would. So I'm putting a little downward pressure on here, just on the strokes, just to, when the tines open up, I want to get rid of that burr on the inside that's going to be there. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to use the strops to give it a real nice final polish and be doing the same thing as I did in the stones, because this is wet, and yeah, I don't want to get my leather covered in ink. But that's just for final smoothness. Even that nail polishing board will be not too bad. So you can see the gold plating coming off. So I mean, if I was taking my time and really cared, I would have taped that and just had a little bit more care. So you can see what the nib looks like now. Some weirdness on the bottom. Is that still might be the tipping, or if it's the light reflection. Anyways, let's give it a go. Put this stuff out of here, and let's come back to the paper. Stuff underneath is wet. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just move this board out of the way. Somewhere down here, I guess. I wanted to kind of put everything all together so you didn't, so you're like, oh, you went off camera and did this or did that. I just wanted to keep it just a live shot. Yeah, it's a little scratchy for sure. feel the couple spots I would do. I will do that, you know, off camera where I can actually look at the loop properly with my eyes. And quick brown fox. So this definitely needs some touch up. And you know, I'll make sure upstrokes are smooth, which they're not. Downstrokes are decent, upstrokes are going to fix that. And you'll just, you know, work with different letters to know different angles where it's at and where it's catching. But that's just to give you an idea. I'm going to spend a little more time on this one. But you can see the before and after. So especially on the, oh, where's my finger? There it is. You see those cross strokes coming up nice and thin and tight there on the printing. Just get a little bit of line variation. You know, I use a fine for most of my writing and most of my pens, and it works good. It's a good size for everyday use, but sometimes you want a little flair to it, and a regular full-blown stub is just too much. I like something like a fine or a medium nib that's being ground to a cursive italic. This is actually one of the first pens, I think maybe it was the first pen I did. I'll just give you a quick sample on this one as well. This one I've obviously spent time on, so it writes really nice. It's nice and wet. Kind of feels pencil-like, I guess. I'll bring this up in a second. That's how I kind of like my nibs, is just a little bit of feedback. The super glass smooth ones, I find I don't write as well, I don't print as well. They feel nice. So you can just see just how much wetter this nib is. I would do that with the Jinhao there too. But it just gives, you know, it looks normal but slightly different. That's why, like, that's kind of my favorite nib, is a fine italic. You can see the before and after. This video turned out so-so, I think, without making it insanely long, and I think it'd take quite some time to finish this one off properly and make it look the way I'd want, and actually do this as a video, and it'd take a lot of editing for me to do, which I don't have time to do, or even the know-how. But one last look. It just needs a little bit of work. It's close. But you're not going to do this anyway, so it doesn't matter. But actually here, while I got a second, I got the gear out. Here's my 149. And where are we? There we come. So this one was, it took a while just because the very tip, like it had this uptick, it had this, man, this is bad. There we go. I went as far down to still keep a little bit of tipping material on there. It's having trouble finding focus. Let me just tell it to focus there. I think that'll be better. So you can see the very end though, it just has that slight little uptick. It just goes up ever so slightly at the end. And so that one just took a little more time, but yeah, I did this the exact same way I showed you, just a little more time and care, obviously. And it gives me just the right amount that I like. Let's see if I can get you a good, yeah, it's tough doing this on here. There, it gets a little bit better. Yeah, this is my favorite one to write with. You've seen it in a few videos, because I write with it all the time. Ugh, this is terrible. Just got that nice little look to it. And it's nice and wet too. That's pretty wet ink right now. Anyhow, this is way too long as it is, so let's wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed.